All right, let's talk about that invisible wall, the thing that holds so many of us back without us even realizing it's there. We're talking about the mindset barrier.
So I'm going to jump right in with a pretty direct question. Why aren't you where you want to be right now? Seriously, what's the one thing you feel is really standing in your way? We all have a go-to answer for this, don't we?
You might think, well, I just don't have the right skills, or I'm not talented enough. But come on, you've seen people with way less talent achieve incredible things, right? So we know deep down that can't be the real reason.
Or, okay, maybe it's just bad luck. You just haven't gotten the right breaks. And yeah, luck plays a part, for sure. But it's not the deciding factor. The real barrier, it's something much, much closer to home. Something you actually have total control over.
Yep, that's it. The biggest thing blocking you from your own success is your mindset. It's that internal story you tell yourself, that quiet little program running in the background of your mind that controls every single action you take and, probably more importantly, every action you don't take.
So let's break this down, shall we? In this first part, we're going to dig into the specific mindset traps that keep you feeling stuck. We're going to see how your own thinking is secretly working against you.
Okay, this is a classic. You know the feeling. You tell yourself, I'll start just as soon as I feel ready. But here's the truth. You will never feel 100% ready. That feeling, it doesn't exist. Successful people get this. They just jump in, knowing they'll figure things out as they go. They always start before they feel ready.
And this is such a crucial shift in perspective. A limiting mindset sees a roadblock and just stops. It focuses on all the reasons it won't work. A success mindset, on the other hand, immediately starts asking a different question. Okay, how can I make this work? It's a total game changer, moving from problem spotting to solution hunting.
Oh, the fear of failure. This one is a monster, isn't it? It paralyzes so many of us. We're so terrified of messing up that we just never start. We put things off, we procrastinate, anything to avoid that possibility of failing. But people who succeed, they have a completely different relationship with failure. They don't just put up with it, they actually see it as a required part of the whole process. Just let that sink in for a minute. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to success. Every single time you fail, you're just getting data. You're getting feedback that tells you what didn't work so you can tweak your approach and try again. Only this time, you're smarter. It's a critical ingredient, not a deal breaker.
And here are two more traps that are so easy to fall into. First, comparing your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 20. You're scrolling through social media, you see their highlight reel, and you feel totally defeated, forgetting all about the years of work and struggle it took them to get there. The other big one? Believing you have all the time in the world. This gives you this false sense of security that just leads to doing nothing. But time, well, time isn't guaranteed.
Okay, so we've seen the traps. Now, let's talk about the antidote. We're going to look at how asking yourself better questions, just a simple shift in your internal dialogue, can literally change everything.
You see, your brain is basically a search engine. It's designed to find answers to whatever questions you feed it. So if you keep asking, what if it doesn't work? Well, your brain is going to pull up a whole list of all the terrible things that could happen. But what if you just flip the question? What if you ask, yeah, but what if it works? All of a sudden, your brain starts searching for possibilities, for the upside, for all the amazing things that could happen.
Here's another powerful reframe for you. We worry so much about what other people will think. That fear is all about something you have zero control over. But the successful question? It brings the focus right back to you. What if this changes my life? This question forces you to weigh the temporary discomfort of what someone might think against the massive, lifelong reward of your own transformation. I mean, which one really matters more?
And this is the ultimate trade-off. Failure is a temporary pain. It stings, you learn from it, and you move on. But regret, the pain of looking back years from now wondering what if, that's a pain that lasts. The lesson here is simple. You have to fear regret way more than you fear failure.
So this brings us to a concept that might feel a little backwards. But trust me, this is the absolute engine of progress. It's all about putting action before the feeling. Most of us have this completely mixed up.
We think we need to have it all figured out in our heads before we can start. We try to think our way into clarity. But clarity isn't something you find by thinking. It's something you create through action. You can't see the next 5 steps. You only discover step 2 by taking step 1.
Action is what creates the clarity you've been waiting around for. And this is the secret to confidence. We wait to feel confident before we do the thing, but that's not how it works at all. Confidence isn't something you need before you act, it's the result of acting. So here's the formula. Stop waiting, take one small, messy, imperfect action, then take another one. Confidence will show up along the way, earned through real-world proof that you can actually do it.
Let's just bust another huge myth right now. How many times have you heard someone say, I'm just not motivated? They're waiting for this magical wave of inspiration to hit them. But motivation, it's unreliable. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice. And here's the secret. When you use discipline to take action even when you don't feel like it, that action creates momentum, which then creates motivation. Discipline is the spark. Motivation is the fire.
And finally, the trap of perfectionism. Let's be real. Trying to be perfect is just a fancy excuse for not finishing anything. It keeps you stuck, endlessly editing and second-guessing. The truth is, consistent progress, no matter how small or imperfect it feels, will always beat the project that never sees the light of day because it wasn't perfect. Just aim for progress. That's
So, we've broken down the traps, and we've talked about the truths. And now we come to the final and honestly the most important part. Because it all comes down to a simple choice. A choice that only you can make. Think about that for a second. There is no middle ground. Right now, as you're listening to this, your mindset is one of two things. It's either a set of prison bars keeping you locked in place, constantly reminding you of your limits, or it's the single most powerful weapon you have to shatter those limits and build a life you actually want. A prison or a weapon. It's your choice.
So, the big takeaway here isn't about whether you're capable. Of course you can succeed. You have the potential. That has never, ever been the real question. The real question, the only one that really matters, is this. Will you get out of your own way? Will you make the choice to change the thoughts, the questions, and the beliefs that are holding you back? Will you finally allow your own mindset to let you succeed?